We've got another great copycat recipe for you today. We are going to head on over to the Old Key West Resort. They have a restaurant in there called Olivia's that's got some really great food. It's kind of out of the way, so not a lot of people know about it, but definitely recommend you giving it a try because, like I said, their food is really tasty. And today what we're going to be making from there is the Banana Bread Pudding Sundae. I know, it's a mouthful. Banana Bread Pudding Sundae. So we're gonna be making that today. We're gonna start by making our banana bread for the banana bread pudding. And I will go ahead and throw up our ingredient list so you can get those ingredients jotted down. If you need more time, go ahead and hit that pause button. We're gonna get started. So in our mixer, you're going to use your pedal attachment, or you can use a hand mixer if you don't have a tabletop mixer. And then we're going to put in all of our dry ingredients. So we've got our flour, our sugar, baking powder, our cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. Okay, we're gonna mix that together real quick. Then we're gonna mix our wet ingredients together in a separate bowl. So I've got my 2 eggs, my banana puree. I just blended up bananas. My butter, and I went ahead and melted it just to make it easier to mix. And my vanilla. I'm gonna mix all that together. Get some of this out of the way. Get it nice and mixed on in there. You can see it's all getting evenly mixed. Make sure you're breaking up that egg yolk. Both of those egg yolks, I should say. There's 2 of them. There we go. And then we're gonna slowly pour this into our batter, our dry ingredients to make our batter. So we're gonna turn that on nice and low and slowly pour in our wet ingredients. Once you're done mixing, you're gonna take your bowl out, paddle out of there, scrape off all that doughy goodness. Right. Pull out our bowl. I'm gonna give it one last mix just to make sure everything's good, and then we're gonna spray our pan with some non-stick spray, quick release, whatever you got. Okay. And then we're gonna pour our batter in. all the last bits out. Don't want any of this to go to waste. It smells so good. Okay. All right. Then I'm just gonna spread it out. Now I used a really big pan because we're gonna eventually cut this into cubes for our custard, and I want them kind of small so they'll fit really well, but you can make them thicker if you want, or if you don't have as big of a pan. Okay. Plus this will cook faster, or bake faster I should say. The thicker it is, the longer it's gonna take to bake. So I like that it's nice and thin because it'll bake up nice and quick. It's all ready to go. Now we just need to bake it. We're gonna preheat our oven to 325, and we're going to bake it until we can stick a toothpick in it and it pulls out cleanly. This is gonna depend again on how thick it is. So you need to kind of watch it. You'll see it spring up, you'll see it kind of pull away from the sides, and then you're gonna wanna stick that toothpick in and pull it out and make sure that it comes out clean. While it's in the oven, we get to do our fun part, our rum sauce. It's so good. You're gonna start on the stove, medium-high heat, add in your Captain Morgan, and then your banana liqueur, and then we get to light it on fire. So fun. I love this part. It's going to burn for a while, but that's okay. Just be really careful. We're burning off the alcohol, so if you're worried about that, there won't be any alcohol in here because you could see it is burning all off. And you're gonna let that just carefully go until it's good. And this is gonna give us a nice rich flavor to our sauce. You can even take it off of the burner if it's getting too much, and let that just finish up. Again, like I said, a medium-high heat. And then next, what we're gonna do is add our butter. And we're just gonna pour that in and let it melt. Oops, still a little bit of fire going on there. So we're gonna let that go out and then add our butter. Okay, and just let that melt on in there. Give it a little stir around so it doesn't burn. We don't want it to burn. And then we're going to add our light brown sugar. And it's going to kind of just gel together and make this really thick liquid almost. That's just ooey and gooey and yummy and delicious. And again, you're going to want to just make sure that it's not burning. So every once in a while, get your spoon in there and mix it all together. Until all of that butter is melted. If you want to do it into smaller chunks, it might melt a little faster than mine is currently. Next, we're going to add in our banana puree. We did some more banana, a whole lot of banana in this. And this is what's going to really thicken that sauce up and give it a really great taste as well. So then we just want to mix it all in there really well. Just be careful. That butter is going to want to stay separated like that. As you can see, it's kind of on the edges. We really want to get that all nice and mixed in evenly, so none of that is separated. It might take a little while, and that's okay. Just carefully get it stirred in there. And again, it's really hot, so careful when you're stirring it so you don't splash it out on your hand. That would hurt. And next we're going to add our vanilla. Just a half a tablespoon there of our vanilla, and again, mix that in. Make sure all that butter on the edge is mixed in as well. And then we're going to end it with a dash of nutmeg to our sauce. And again, just getting the edges there to make sure all of that butter is mixed in with our sauce. Next, we got it nice and close so you can see. I'm going to make the custard for our pudding. We're going to start with 3 cups of milk. This is going to go over the banana bread that we made to make our custardy pudding goodness. We've got 3 eggs that we're going to add on in there. Make sure it's 3. I know it looks like 2. And then our cinnamon, we're going to add that on in there too. And mix that all up. It might be easier with a whisk. I would definitely recommend that instead of the spatula, just to get all that cinnamon in there. It can be a little difficult to do that, but we're gonna get that all nice and mixed so we can move on to our next step. So we're going to go ahead and take our muffin tin. We're going to spray it again with our non-stick, easy release, whatever you've got. Woo. That's fun. Right, because custard tends to be a little sticky. So we want to really make sure we get that on there. Then you're going to start taking some of your bread cubes and just filling them into the muffin tins. You want them kind of almost to the top, pretty much. But with some space for that custard. Have to try these. Oh my goodness, they're so good. All right, then we want to get this into almost the top. So I thought I'd use my baster just to make it a little easier on myself. Versus trying to spoon it in there. Every once in a while I'm just gonna kind of mix it up a little. Make sure I'm getting that cinnamon in there, the nutmeg. There we go. Just gonna keep filling them. We've got them all filled. I had to go back after I filled them because that bread really soaks in that custard. It's gonna be so good. So I just wanted to fill them a little bit more so they're almost nearly to the top, because custard doesn't really rise. So you want it to really hold in those cubes that you've got in there. Now we're gonna throw it into the oven for about, let's start with 10 minutes and then we'll work our way up from there. We've got it set at 325, and what we just want that custard to set. So let's go ahead and do that. They're all done. I had to bake them about 20-25 minutes. We want it nice and set so that's not moving around. And then you're gonna let it cool. You wanna let it cool, so I let mine cool for a bit. And now, the exciting part, we can assemble our dish. So we're gonna just take one of these out, but before we do, I wanna talk to you about my sprinkling of pixie dust for this recipe. A sprinkling of pixie dust is just a little something extra we like to add. It doesn't have to be big, it could be something small, but just something a little bit extra I like to add to our recipes, just to sprinkle a little magic, kind of like Disney does with all of their things. And today, my sprinkling of pixie dust is, I have some slow turn vanilla bean ice cream to put on these, because typically you just put vanilla on here, but if you've ever had vanilla versus vanilla bean, oh, so it's just chef's kiss. Okay, so we're gonna use vanilla bean ice cream today, and we're gonna go ahead and assemble one of these bad boys for you so you can see how it's done. So again, I love how that's releasing from there. Okay, and then we're going to put our ice cream on. Okay. And I got this little scoop with little Mickeys in it on our last trip, and I absolutely love it. So of course I had to use it today. So we're just gonna get a nice dollop of ice cream, maybe, to put on there. Okay, top. Ooh, this looks so yummy. Okay, and then we're going to, let's get that out of the way, put some of our sauce on there. You're gonna wanna eat it quick because this sauce is nice and warm. And then we're gonna garnish it with some banana. I know, so much banana. That's all right. Okay, just do some bananas on there. Okay, as much or as little as you like. But there it is. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I loved making it. Can't wait to try it. It looks and smells absolutely delicious. If you haven't been to Olivia's at the Old Key West Resort, you need to go because they've got some really great food there. We do other copycat recipe videos if you want to check those out. We've got a whole playlist. We also have a playlist for tips and tricks for visiting the parks and crafts. So if you like doing Disney crafts, we got you covered. So make sure you check those out. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do that. We'd love to have you a part of our Disney family. And you get access to all of this yummy, yummy food and crafts and tips and tricks and all that stuff. So we also do some giveaways, so you're gonna wanna hit the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. And again, thank you all so much for stopping by, and we hope to see you real soon.